Alrighty guys, let's take a look at how the Kospi market is doing today. We do have a red day on Kospi right now, and this definitely memory stocks would affect how they may behave on the US side. We do have on the overnight session though, if I show you really quickly, like look at the bottom right corner of my screen. Overnight session on Micron is a bit positive. It was at one point a little bit higher, has given up some gains, and again overnight sessions are just for reference. It doesn't mean it's going to hold here, but it just gives you a bit of more sentiment. Sandisk is a little bit also up. SK Hynix at least greener than what we have on the Korean side, because we do have SK Hynix there on red right now. But hey, let's take a look at everything in this video as for the price action and what Kospi from here entails for us. So with that, I want to let you know, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. So starting off with Kospi right off the gate, we continue to reject and remain still below that $7,050 area right over here, and thus structure on Kospi still remains to the downside. Okay, we are still in the bearish price action. This zone still remain a potential zone of stabilization, but just because we test here doesn't mean it's a buy, it doesn't mean it's bullish. It's just a zone of eventually potentially stabilizing it, but we have to keep seeing the confirmation for that. Right now it is stabilizing, but it doesn't mean it's bullish. No, it is not bullish. We are still overall in the negative direction, and today's price action is not really helping as well, because we are continuing to decline here, right? And so what really is we need to see, right? What is really we need to see? Well, the start is for the bulls still above 7,050. That's still the zone. I know it's the same thing, and that's the whole thing. Just because days have passed doesn't mean market has to give you something new in terms of something as in price action will be different. No, if you understand market, it's not that complicated. Okay, price action, once you learn, it's not that difficult. Okay, and my members videos talk about many stocks as well. If you are interested, that will help you to gain broader spectrum, because when you see price action across multiple stocks that I do for the members, you will start to learn the concepts, right? Anyways, so Kospi though is in the negative direction and remains in the negative direction, and so let's see what eventually happens. Definitely this is my zone of interest, but it just because it comes down there doesn't mean it's a buy. We have to see the price action here first and see what happens. But from wherever we are right now, like even if we start to turn around from here itself, from where we are, we still have to get above 7,050 right now. Okay, so that's your Kospi. Let's take a look at SK Hynix. I'm gonna go to the Korean real-time data here, and let's refresh the page real quick, and we are negative 1.08% down, very close pretty much from where the price action is. The thing is that SK Hynix still also remains right now in the negative direction for us. This has continued to reject at our zone. It did do some rebounds but gave up again. Thus overall direction on SK Hynix on the Korean side as well remains negative, and pretty much this becomes the case on the SK Hynix on the Nasdaq as well. Forget right now overnight session here. Your context from the prior is on Korean SK Hynix. From there is that is in the negative direction, right? So anyways, so what really means from here? Well, if we start to lose $1,687,000 level, well, we are looking at the zone of 1,093,000. Now this is the zone that I have told you that this is where I would be really loving it, right? I would be really loving it, because that's where it's such an important zone that if the bounce doesn't happen there, well, then I mean it has to happen. Okay, so my point being, again, nothing is guaranteed, but my point being, this is where if we get here, this is the best possible place to take a trade without even thinking too much. You don't even have to wait for a direction to build up. You can even have a right away a stop loss below that and start, which also removes the doubt that are we still going to continue lower more, right? This area removes all those doubts. So anyhow, SK Hynix is definitely also in the DRAM. Now, speaking of DRAM, guys, don't forget to check out my free DRAM portfolio access. You can get it for free as long as you are on my existing stocks coverage plus trading tools membership. That is the third tier on my membership. Sat on the Patreon. These stocks coverage and trading tools will give you services that are in these two memberships. All right, there's a third tier there. You will get the trading tools that I use and which are built by me, and then also stocks coverage across like 25 plus stocks that I talk with my members. And with that, you will get my free DRAM portfolio access, real-time alerts on Telegram. It's just started, so don't miss out if you are interested. The whole intention is to capitalize on proper position building on DRAM and really make a lot of money. That's the whole purpose. You will also get access to my spreadsheet so that even in your free time you can have a full picture of what positions I have taken, where even in the past you can look everything. Even though Telegram you can look at it in the past, but real-time alerts are on the Telegram, and then you will find the information consolidated in the spreadsheet as well. So don't miss this opportunity. If you are interested, check out the details in the description of this video. All right, so at this point, coming back to the SK Hynix, yes, it has still room to come down. Am I worried? No, I'm not worried. Okay, I have seen these price actions over and over again, and I know where to place the risk, or I should say where to play the risk. All right, and so I'm not worried. I'm positioning myself accordingly. And yes, right now it looks like it has a room to come down. Okay, unless we start to regain levels above, but direction won't change until either we get above this 2,040,000 area, or better we come down. At this point, it's better we come down. As I said, it's just going to remove the doubt of like, hey, are we gonna just rebound and still come down, right? So it's healthy. It's healthy for this whole froth to just disappear and we start fresh. Samsung also continued to reject at 272,000 area and thus remains in this negative direction still for us. We are looking at 215,000 area, this zone. Like Kospi is very close to it. Samsung is getting very close to its prominent zone. So, well, SK Hynix a little bit further, but it can do that quickly. Let's take a look at in terms of actually percent, right? Like SK Hynix is 36% still away from that zone. Samsung is 12%, and I think Kospi, I looked at it, was also not that far away, but yeah, 8%. So anyhow, the magnitude of the moves are also different. SK Hynix moves in percent every day quite a lot, so technically in proportion, maybe they will all come together at the same time at those important zones, and we'll see what happens. I'm saying it doesn't mean once we hit that zone it's like a buy by default. No, we have to look at the price action. But anyways, decline is still in what the price is in, okay, and the structure, everything is still in the decline. I can take a look at the real-time data as well. It's just 10 minutes delayed on trading view for SK Hynix and Samsung on the Korean side of the things, and yeah, we are technically still negative on Samsung here as well. So anyhow, that's your Kospi as of right now. It's still red, right? And it's, as I just showed you the price action, we are still quite far away from those levels that will really change it, and right now the weakness is still there. Now, as I'm here on the memory side of the things and Kospi, I want to talk about a little bit on Micron. Now, look, I have done a video in the morning and that still remains the case. 950 is the zone, all right? Below that will remain in the weakness right now. And yes, Micron is at 942 in the overnight session. But as I said, overnight session can reset easily when the pre-market opens. So don't really get excited right now. And even if we are like, even if let's say we open at 943, 942, you are still watching $950. Only above that, the strength can come. Below that, no. Okay, so and just don't rush. Like even if you see pre-market up here for any reason, don't rush. Let the market open, let the 5 minutes go by, and see if the zone holds or not. And anytime if zone doesn't hold, you are getting out. And if the zone breaks, yes, it's okay. Break to the upside, then it's good. Sandisk also a little bit up, like 1474 up here in the overnight session, but also guys, it does like 15 to 1600. It's just a zone of still negativeness. This overnight session is a bounce technically. It doesn't really make it bullish. Can it stabilize here? Well, that's yet to be seen. The point is that below 15 and 1600 area, our structure right now is broken to the downside. All right, SK Hynix is at 159, greener than the on the Korean side, but it's right now also in the negative overall direction. This may very well reset just due to Korean market eventually later. So let's take a look at Seagate. Seagate is, just a little bit of a bounce. Doesn't really changes it much right now. It's just overnight, very tiny bounce here. Nvidia at one point was doing really great, 208, but still, nothing changes from the morning plan. And also on AMD, nothing changes from the morning plan that I have explained to you. All right, but yeah, most importantly, I want to talk about Kospi. And in this video, we are still in the breakage. So if Kospi closes in the breakage structure without any strength, there's still 4 hours for a Kospi session to close at the time of doing this video. If you're not seeing a close like a strong, again, US market is different, but just so you know, there will be some lingering pressure. Just not saying that just because Kospi did this, so will the US market would do the same. No. You already have the levels to watch for the US market, but what I'm saying is that right now sentiment is not improving. That's what my point is. All right, sentiment is the only association you can make between these two markets for memory stocks, nothing more than that. That's all I had for you guys in this video. Don't forget to check out my DRAM portfolio access, guys. Details you will find in the description of this video. As soon as you join Stocks Coverage Plus Trading Tools, just send us an email and we'll get you onboarded on the stocks coverage and also on the trading tools and also on my DRAM portfolio. Alrighty guys, so with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care, bye.